Hello and welcome. And in the last video, I talked about the buy low and sell high strategy via that of ticker symbols GE and BAC. And the data of the buys sells are in this spreadsheet. So let's take a look and see how this would do. But more importantly, go over order size management. So I'll copy and paste the numbers into here and we will start off. Okay, so then G3, paste it in the wrong, supposed to paste it in number 3 first. Alright, so then we're starting off within a 5,000 bankroll, and at $1.02 you'd be buying that of 4,897 of them. So now we got the sell. So let's talk about order size management. You are having a market go up 50%. Thus, you don't want to sell any more than 1/3. So even selling about like 1,200 is usually an okay. 1,000. So if we take just this number, we will get her to be at 4,800. Or no. We would sell 1,000, so it'd be at 3,800. Okay, so your first sell would get you 1,620. So you'd have the market go up from 150 to 264. That's a differential of 116. Much better than double. So if you even think like well less than third, I could do like another 1,000 here, no problem. And you really can, I think. So where would I go at 475? Well, I see it's a little over 2 more. Same thing when I know the price is doubling. Then I technically can get away with selling half of what I have, and mathematically I can never run out as long as I do that. But I'm just going to reduce it a little bit. Make sure that this number keeps getting higher, and boy has it ever, going from 16, 26, and then 42. And then you'd have another sale. You'd have 1,900 ownership. The market goes from 475 to basically 7. Differential of 2.25. So that's 50% or so. Definitely don't want to go more than 1/3. So maybe you want to go 600. And then you get a pullback down to 1,300. Or you'd own 1,300 with a price at 440. So I want to buy a little under 4,173 worth. 800 would definitely work. 900 would work. 1,000 would probably be way too much. So let's just do 950. Close enough, but we'll do a little under 945. So back into sell mode, market goes up from 450 to 678, a differential of about 2.5. So better than 50%. Got to sell less than 1/3. What do we own? 8,500, or excuse me, 2,200. That would be about 700 or so. So maybe you want to go maybe 645, bring it down to an even 16. You'd see the market not quite double, but you could probably maybe sell another 600 again. See that number go up to 66. Also of note too, you see how you sold here for 41, you got your buyback, and then your next sale was marginally higher than your last. That's how I like it myself. If I can get better, that's obviously the way I like it too, but all things considered, that's the main base of it. So the market almost goes in half. So 1,000 would work out to 673. So you'd have to go a little less than that, like 990 is 985 would be where you'd be buying at the same price. So you can see the differential there. we'd be buying the one above it for 4,300 next. And the price sale was at 678. The buyback is at 433. And 1,000 would be pretty much on that number. So there's now a bunch of sell orders coming in. You're going from 433 to 712. The differential on that is like about 280. And about 215 would be 50%, so it's better than that. You could definitely sell a third if you wanted to, but we'll go like 800 or so, and you get a nice sell size of the 53. So then the price goes almost double again. So doubling means selling even half, but I don't want to get into that part. We'll just we'll go 785. Now you're selling for 10,000. Now this is a really weak sell here if you look at the differential, but we'll play it as it is. So you go 13.2 to 17.34. That's like a differential of 4. And that is like even 30%. So, I mean, I only want to sell like even like 200 here. So now we got a 6-point differential. And when you make your buys and sells really fast, I mean, that's just going to happen. 23, and in real life, of course, you got real time. 6.3 differential. So that would work out to not quite 50%. So maybe sell like 300. It's like 300 would be like 1/4 of what you would own. So that would work out well. So now we got our buyback in here. Actually, no, we got one more sell order. 33, that's a differential of 10 points or so. So maybe do 250 this time. And the buyback at 20. So we sold for 8,000 before. So at a price point of 20, that would be 400. Looks like it's still lower. So 420, 415 would be cheaper. So that's 165 free, not free, but profited tokens, and a very small amount of base currency. So now, generally speaking, I'm going to be selling a little more than what I sold here. Selling from 20 to 34 is a differential of 14 points, so better than 50%. And I could do a third, but we'll do 300 and say 15 just to make the numbers go rounding. Like 750 is more even. So you sold for 10,000 on this case. You get your buyback immediately. Well, I don't know how immediate it was. I can't remember. But if you're buying back at 21 after selling there, what would 500 do? Yeah, works pretty good for me. We'll do that. So now you gain. In this case, you gain like $110. So maybe you can have something, do something fun. And there's even dividends with stocks, but I'm comparing this for crypto purposes. Maybe you might get some forks on cryptos. That's maybe the most similar thing to such. But back to the selling again. So you're selling back at the same area. So I'll probably sell a little bit more. So maybe sell 325 instead. And then the buyback would be more as well. As we can see, 525 instead. So now we got another buy, which would have been from a previous sale of about, let's see, we got this one here with 7,000. We had 300 from before. And 500 would work again. And we have another buy. That would be the one from $3,461 for 200. So so 360 we'll say. Then the buy before that, that was a big one. This was this one here for 10,000 where we sold 785 at 1320. So let's see what 1200 does. So we'll do 1560. buying for 10,321 after selling for 10,341. The buyback before that was for 5,684 for 800. So let's just put in 1,300 here, 1,200, and that number is lower. Another buyback, but where would this one go back from? Because we just bought this one, we've already bought this one back as well, and this one, so I guess this would be this from in here, which was 475. Does that make sense? Not really. No. Yes, right in here. So what did we do this one for? 4,266, 900. And this was 41, so that would be 42.66, I said. So we'll just keep that in place. And then now move into the sells. So we've had all the buys. We're now owning 6,620 of these shares. We're selling for a gain of better than double. We could unload half of them if we wish. You could do whatever large number you so desire, and it's a very difficult thing to outweigh how much you would actually want to be a seller, because you got great opportunities in here. Selling everything at 615, everything here you can sell for a profit at 2,700 if you wish, but I'm just going to go 1620 on this one. So there's a sale at 1620. Now we go from 950 to 14, 50% gain or so, or right in here. So we definitely want to do less than a third. So maybe go like, say, 1,200. And then we sell again. We have 3,800 market. And another about 50% gain. So maybe you want to go 1,100. You get your buyback here at 621. Again, another better than half off. So you can buy more than double back. And there we go with 1,375. New sell order here at 13. Another double. So we can do like, say, I mean, you can go so aggressive here. You can sell like 2,000. You can sell 1,000 and have that big accumulation phase. So many different options that you have available. I'll do like, say, 1675. Put it down to an early even 35. So now you have a gain of like 8 points, 9 points almost. So 70-80%. You could even do 1,000, which we'll do, say. So we're selling at 22 again. Nice little sale. Another 50% gain. So we definitely want to do less than a third. So let's even say 750. I didn't page down. I meant to type in 750, which is the last one. So this is where you would stand. I'm just going to delete everything in here because I don't need the variables below. So as it would stand, you would have had $95,000 starting with 5, and you'd have sent 1,750 of these tokens or coins starting with 5,000 of them. So you'd have a lot less of them. Of course, the price going up would be a big reason for such. So therefore, how much would 1,750 be worth? Well, I would go this, at least at the time of the last trade, it would have been worth 57. And then if we add this from the cash or base currency balance, that would be 152. So 30x gain from where you would start. And with the price at 32.85, that's also a 30x gain. So either way, the markets would have performed pretty much the exact same when it comes down to it. But a market that goes up 30x, if you can perform this type of strategy, like equal perform, not over or under, but equal perform, holding something that goes up 30 times and be with it, that's magnificent. Because if it goes sideways, and it's no brainer which one's going to win. If it marginally goes up, same thing. If it marginally goes down, then I'm winning. And if it goes down nicely in a huge choppy format, then I could be seeing profits when it's 70-80% down within strategy. So I mean, it has to be really choppy, and it may be a lot of periods, a lot of time to get the 70-80% down. But when it's down 50, 60, 65% with enough time, it's not uncommon to still profit using a strategy amongst this level. And just to show an example of such, let's take a look. Right now we're at 32.85, or was back then at that price point. Here at 35.89, it would be doing better, but I can even show probably a better situation. Here's when it was 621. So at that point, when it was over, you would have owned 5,175 of them. And well, let's just do some math on that. So 621 multiply 5175. And then you would have, or 5175, I should put the right numbers in. So you'd be worth 32,000 on the tokens or the coins, and your cash value would be worth 26. So you would have been worth 58,000 and change at the price point of 621. Back in here, when you were at 661, how much would you have been worth? Well, you would have had this much. You would have. Where's the token? Right here. You'd own 38.70. Let's multiply the price at the time. Let's add the amount of currency. Number last time was 58,000 and change. Oh, it was 40. So you would have seen your portfolio go up 18 units on 40, or about 40 something percent, with the market breaking even because of all the little bits of trades that would move along the way. And in a situation where, because it's right at this even point, what it would have meant is any type of pullbacks going lower, like if this thing goes to like 10, you're going to be up, this thing would be up 10 times, and you're going to be up over 20 times, or well over 10 times regardless anyway, because of just the mathematics that you would have 5,000 coins, almost 4,900 closer to, going down from 32.85, where you have 1,750 of them going down from 32.85. So that's why you'd be doing better. And then on the way up, well, you're getting great rallies on much lower amounts of the coins. But when the markets have moves where, say this chops down to 10 cents or 20 cents, then it goes back up to 50 cents, you'd be profiting because of all of the plays along the way. And when I say you'd be profiting from the start when a market would be down half, because you could have situations where you're doing very, very well, but within very volatile action, you can see the value of your portfolio swing way up and down. But in the world of, well, I'll call it gambling because it's what it is, when you're playing the volatility within such, then that's just going to work accordingly. And well, that's what the cryptos have. And I'm using the stock market of this for a comparison for these types of moves, because I could say this is 102 Satoshi, moving to 35.89. And that's what these markets do. So I'm giving it the very similar comparison. It's just I was using data or movements of like decades, where in cryptos you do it over seasons. Like, oh, this was like 4 or 5 decades. Okay, well, this was 4 or 5 seasons or a year and a half kind of deal. Because the crypto markets move much, much faster. Thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.